Hello everyone, this is Mr. Steelix your girl, here with another VGC beginner guide featuring Zekrom. Zekrom is a Generation 5 restricted legendary that specializes in physical attack and has a relatively solid spread of bulk. While not being very fast, Zekrom's access to Tailwind or Dragon Dance can circumvent this disadvantage to set up the team or itself in order to sweep your opponents with its powerful physical electric type moves. First, let's dive into the general breakdown of Zekrom and what makes it unique. Zekrom has a stat pool of 680, which is split by 100 HP, 150 attack, 120 defense, 120 special attack, 100 special defense, and 90 speed. Zekrom's typing is fairly balanced offensively and defensively, giving it a grand total of 6 resistances, but also having 4 weaknesses. This typing makes Zekrom very dynamic, being able to hit most Pokemon for neutral damage, or utilized as a great pivot to take common attacks like fire, water, or grass types. Zekrom's signature ability is Terrible. This ability makes it so moves can be used on the target regardless of its abilities. For example, Zekrom is able to land ground type moves on any Pokemon that have Levitate, can ignore the damage debuffs that abilities like Terra Shell or Multiscale give, or even ignore Lightning Rod when using electric type moves. Zekrom has 2 signature moves, Fusion Bolt and Bolt Strike. Fusion Bolt is a 100 base power electric type physical attack with 100% accuracy. This move has a secondary effect where if Reshiram's signature move, Fusion Flare, is used on the same turn, then the move that goes second will have its power doubled. Bolt Strike is a 130 base power physical electric type move with 85% accuracy. This move also has a 20% chance to leave the target with paralysis. While the accuracy is much lower than Fusion Bolt, sometimes the gamble may be worth the risk. Now that we've got some context on Zekrom, let's move on to some theoretical builds, common teammates, and how to use it. Zekrom is a straightforward Pokemon with simple build concepts in order to be used to its maximum potential. Our first build prioritizes maximum damage with max attack investment, as well as some speed and bulk investment in order to capitalize on Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance is a move that boosts both attack and speed by 1 stage when used. This move gives Zekrom some agency, as it is able to circumvent its naturally low speed while adding to its offensive pressure in just 1 turn. On this set, I opted to run Fusion Bolt and Dragon Claw, as not only with these 2 attacks can you hit most Pokemon for neutral damage, but you're also able to capitalize on Zekrom's stabs to ensure that we are always delivering maximum damage. Fusion Bolt was chosen over Bolt Strike due to the disparity in their accuracy, making Fusion Bolt feel far more reliable. But if you're feeling like rolling the dice, then Bolt Strike should be used instead, for bigger damage and chances at paralyzing your opponent. Clear Amulet is fantastic on Zekrom. Intimidate can be truly devastating to Zekrom's potential in a battle, so having an item that negates this ability in particular saves a lot of headache and maneuvering needed in games. For this build, I opted for Terra Fairy, primarily in order to dodge opposing dragon types, but Terra Electric for a more offensive mindset is certainly viable. The second build is only a slight variation to the first and keeps everything the same except for 2 move changes and an item swap. This set leans Zekrom into being slightly more of a support option by being the Tailwind setter for the team, rather than relying on another Pokemon. This mitigates Zekrom's speed issue and synergizes well with the team, but unfortunately does not aid in Zekrom's offensive needs. To bypass the lack of Dragon Dance, I've opted to run Bolt Strike on this set to guarantee large damage, as well as pairing it with Life Orb to push that envelope further. Teammates that prove valuable for Zekrom include Amoonguss for bulky redirection that allows Zekrom to have some space for setting up Dragon Dance with use of Rage Powder, and makes for an excellent teammate in Trick Room by usually being the slowest Pokemon on the field in order to spore opposing threats. Chien-Pao, which helps to bolster Zekrom's damage by use of its ability Sword of Ruin, which lowers the physical defense of all Pokemon on the field by 25%. This damage reduction is often the difference in securing a knockout versus not. Further, Chien-Pao provides excellent offensive synergy by countering opposing ground types to keep your opponent on their heels. When using the first build, Tornadus Incarnate provides a quick and reliable Tailwind option to bolster Zekrom's speed. But if you're using the second build, this slot can be changed for Incineroar to provide more options for switching, while also providing damage reduction through Intimidate and Parting Shot. Beyond this, filling out the rest of the team with a reliable balance core with Pokemon like Urshifu Rapid Strike, Fluttermane, and Rillaboom can make this an incredibly powerful team that gives Zekrom lots of room to navigate against any foe. Meta Pokemon that pose a serious threat to Zekrom and should be considered when team building include Ice Rider Calyrex, Fluttermane, Miraidon, Landorus Incarnate and Therian, Groudon, and Incineroar. These Pokemon are all Ice, Fairy, Ground, or Dragon types that pose a serious threat to Zekrom either by being able to deliver one-hit knockouts while being faster, being immune to its electric or dragon stabs, or by being able to diminish Zekrom's damage through Intimidate cycling if not using Clear Amulet. In official VGC tournaments, Zekrom has had an unfortunate run since its inception in 2010 with only 2 top 252 placements ever, but Zekrom's most recent appearance was in the current Scarlet and Violet circuit with a 252nd placement at the 2024 NAIC. In my opinion, Zekrom feels like it should be so much more given its awesome typing and great physical attack stat, but unfortunately, due to its lackluster ability that is very rarely relevant and mediocre speed stat, which makes it too slow without Tailwind, yet too fast for Trick Room, Zekrom finds itself being consistently outpaced by the 2 new Dragon Electric type Pokemon introduced in Generation 9. However, all is not lost. Thanks to the introduction of Clear Amulet, Zekrom can now stay on the field even in the face of Intimidate, which would normally force it to switch out regularly. This coupled with the right setup, either by reliance on teammates or use of Dragon Dance to bolster its speed and attack, Zekrom can be a true force to be reckoned with in the Scarlet and Violet VGC meta. This concludes our VGC beginner guide focused on Zekrom. If there's any Pokemon you'd like to see covered next, please comment below. If you liked what you watched, feel free to drop a like, comment, or subscribe to this channel. It helps out a lot. As always, thank you for watching.